Lemome. Lemome. Lemomes. All the Lemomes. So many Lemomes. Lemomes. The Lemomes! Hey nerds, this is Pam coming to you from Stationery Nerd. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I own 9 Lemome notebooks. That's right, folks. I have a problem collecting Lemomes. And today we're going to look at the family of Lemomes. In fact, we're going to even look at some that they don't sell anymore, just so that you can see what I've got. So, this is all I have, and we're going to get right straight into it. Oh my word, you guys. Seriously, I have way too many Lemome notebooks. Okay. First of all, let's look at the ones that you are probably most familiar with, and that is this one that has cat hair, that has the tree on the front. This comes in a bunch of different colors like pink and blue and yellow. And then you probably also know about this one that's got like a suede cover. And yes, we have a broken elastic, but let's not blame Lemome on that. Let's blame the cats on that. But so this suede one, and then we have the Cork version. So these are probably the ones that you know about. Maybe also this leather version. But what we're going to do is go through them all and show you what I have and tell you what I think. Okay, so first let's clear the decks. Alright, so first of all, let's look at this one. You might actually not know about this one because I don't think it was on the market for very long before it was gone. So this is, there's magnetic, and it is a fabric. It's actually a waterproof fabric, or so they say. And inside we have a ring planner. Check that out, folks. We have a planner by Lemome in rings. And there are card slots so that you can put business cards in here. And there's also a big pocket. And in the back there is a zipper pouch where you can stick some stuff as well. Although it is kind of a really tight pouch, so I don't know, maybe you can put a $100 bill in there or something and that would be about it. And then we have the rings, and then inside is a pack of undated calendar pages. So, and then in between each month, or at the beginning of each month, is a quote page. So, dream until your dreams come true. And then throughout the book you've got more little quote pages. Work hard, play hard, never too old to dream, do what you love. Okay, so you get the point. But let's just take a quick peek through here because I do not see this on the website, but just in case they come back with it, at least you'll have an overview of what they've got inside. So you've got an undated planner on the inside, or undated calendar. And then after the calendar you have weeks. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks after the month, and then a little notes page and a monthly reflections page. And then you start right in with another quote page and then the calendar again. And then in the back, let's just take a look. After the last month, then you've got another quote page, and then you've got the time zones and the United States there. And then a heavy cardstock. So as you can see, as I'm trying to turn these pages, these rings are really, really small. And once you put too many pages in, it's a little bit difficult to get them to turn easily. So if I were using this, I would probably pull out, you know, the last half or so and only use half of the pages at a time. And I did do a pen test in here. And we're going to talk more about pen test in another book, but just to give you a quickie idea, pen test looks good on the front. A little bit of ghosting going on. So this is not 120 GSM paper that you're going to find in the other notebooks that are by Lemome. I'm going to guess this is probably 100 GSM. The ghosting isn't bad. It's just that it's there, which is unusual for a Lemome notebook. So anyway, I like it. I am not using it for anything. So just to make you aware that it's available sometimes from the Lemome website or from the, Amazon on Lemome seller's account, but keep an eye out for it. The other thing that I haven't seen in a while, we're going to set this aside and move on to this one. So this is, oh shoot, I should have opened this box before because I remember now that it's really hard to open. Okay, it's really hard to open. Alright, so we have a traveler's notebook. So I just opened this for the first time and I don't know how long, and you can see there is an issue. We've got some leakage. And I'm assuming it's because it's probably like an oil dye on this leather, but it is a leather traveler's notebook. And it came with some inserts, and I must have taken them out at some point because they're not all in there. And it looks like there are 3 strings available for notebooks that you could definitely fit them in if you were to use a jump band. Although, what is going on with this one? I think I just have it in here cockeyed. So anyway, they do, at some point, they did have a leather traveler's notebook. It actually smells very leathery. It's got this decorative detail on the side. Apparently I got some gunk on it. And the leather does scratch a little bit, but I am okay with that. It just rubs right out, actually. And then instead of the elastic going around, it has this little buckle that you just put that in. Now, I wouldn't be too worried about this because this has really been sitting on my shelf for, I don't know, several months. Pounce is here. Okay. So I'm assuming that it's probably because it's been trapped in that box. So if you can get your hands on one of these when they are for sale again, I would definitely pick one up. The notebook size is a little odd. Let me just show you what size it is. It is 3.5 by 6 3/4. So that's not any normal size of anything. But they were also selling the insert refills. So I think this was $16, which is why I bought it, just to check it out. But it's nice. I like it. And they don't sell them anymore. But anyway, just thought I'd show you that that is a Lemome notebook. Alright, moving on. Everything else I have on the list are notebooks that they currently sell. This is my newest one, and I'm going to explain this to you later. So let's start. Let's actually stack these into things that are alike. Okay, so these two go together, and this one is by itself. So this is what they call the bullet journal notebook. And with this, you get some stickers. Let me just pull these out so you can see what you get. Watercolor deer kind of stickers, reindeer maybe. Some tab stickers, and a bunch of emoji stickers. Oh look, here's my favorite new emoji. If you ever see me online, I am always using this nerd sticker. So now that I know this is in here, I think I'm gonna have to use these. Alright, so you do have a pocket in the back, and you'll notice that it's short. Usually pockets go all the way to the top, but this is a little shorter. I'm not opposed to that. And then the pen loop is tucked in between the back cover and the cover, or the end paper on there. And at the beginning, you've got a heavy cardstock with 3 lines here for your name and address. Remember this with some lines. And then we get into Chronicle of Events. And it says down here, recall and record your turning points, then write down the changes you expect. Look back the connection between choice and influence. These valued experiences will achieve your whole life. I have some translation problems there. Alright, so then the wish and the year plan. So you've got a place to write goals and what your plan is for the year. And then I want another translation issue. I want to do. Wishes, travel, books, movies, and then another page with 4 blank spots. And then this is index pages, or the content. So 1, 2, 3 pages of index, and then you get right straight into the dotted pages. And these are numbered. And then in the back, same deal, heavy cardstock. And then in the back you have some perforated pages. Now these are perforated in such a way that you would tear out the page, and then they are, there's 6 individual little perforated note cards on here. So this is something that you would, like if you just need to pull a sheet of paper out for a quick little grocery list, or somebody needs a slip of paper because, hey, you have a notebook, can I have a piece of paper? Yeah, that doesn't happen with bullet journalers. We just don't do that. But here is a way that you can share. So, and it is perforated, so when you pull it out, it leaves this little tab in the spine. So this notebook has 100 GSM paper. And let's just take a look at the spec sheet here. So this is the spreadsheet that you can download from the website, and it has all the information about all of the notebooks that I have reviewed, and you can download that at stationarynerd.com/journals. And you can see that I have 3 different Lemome notebooks on this spreadsheet. So the bullet journal, I paid $16 for it, but I think that you, if you just pay attention, those prices are different. I've seen it as low as $12.99 or even $9.99. So keep an eye on that price if you're looking to get this one. And the size is 8.4 by 5.7. So it's just a tiny bit taller than A5. This is the Lemome, or this is the Leuchtturm 1917, and you can see the size difference compared to a true A5 notebook. Alright, so this notebook actually has a few issues. Number one, we are dealing with 100 GSM paper. And Pounce has decided that we are going to play today. So, 100 GSM paper is not what you would think is the Lemome paper, because all the other notebooks come with 120 GSM. So that's where the confusion comes in with a lot of people. But just be aware that the one with the tree on the front is a lighter weight paper than all of the rest in the line. So let's take a look at the pen test and a quick look at pens so that we can get past this part and look at pen tests throughout. So we have the Sharpie highlighters, which is the liquid highlighter, and then a variety of black pens. So we've got fine liners, gel pens, we've got a micron, we've got a fountain pen, we've got a rollerball, Sharpies. So I will list all of these for you below, and you can take a look at the details there. So let's take a look at this pen test real quick. The paper is okay. We do have some feathering here on the fountain pen, but that is not unusual with this fountain pen because it's super wet. Because it's got a really wide tip on it. And a little bit of feathering also on the Bic, which is the roller ball, which is also really wet. And then when we turn it, you can see that there is ghosting. And that fountain pen kind of wants to bleed. That rollerball pen kind of wants to bleed. It's very close to not bleeding, but it's a little bit. And then there is ghosting here. So when people say that the Lemomes are so heavy that the paper doesn't ghost, and then somebody purchases this one, they get all freaked out because, wait, you told me that it doesn't ghost. Well, it's because this has lighter paper in it. So one of the problems that a lot of people complain about, and that I have seen multiple people talk about in the forums, is that the binding on this notebook tends to break, which means the notebook, the paper part, separates itself from the cover, and then you're left with a wide open broken notebook. And I'll try to grab a picture of what that looks like and drop it here so that you can see it. But one of the things that you need to be aware of when you get any hardcover notebook is that you should first break it in. So to break in a hardcover notebook, you just take a little bit from the front and a little bit from the back, and then just gently run your hand up and down the spine. And then you just keep doing that all the way until you get to the center. Now, not only does this help the notebook lay flat when it's open, but it also gives that spine a little bit of a breaking in so that it is used to being open, because during manufacturing, nobody ever opens it during manufacturing, right? So this is the first time you're opening a book. This is something that I learned way back in elementary school or middle school or whenever, when we got new textbooks and we would do this at first day of class. So this is how you break in a book. And then you can see that when you open it, you're going to have a book that lays flat. So that is one precaution that you can take to avoid or to help minimize the risk of your binding splitting open. But also just be careful when you're using it, and be aware that this is something that has a reputation for splitting the binding. Okay, setting this one aside. Okay, so let's move on to the cork. I have two. One is dotted, one is lined, and we have a couple of unique features here in this one. So in the cork version of this Lemome notebook, it does have the lay flat spine, and they call this the 180-degree lay flat technology. And truly, you open this book and it automatically lays flat. and it has to do with the way that the binding is done on the spine. So it is bound in signatures, but then there's like a fabric piece that runs along the spine, and then this outside cover piece is not actually connected to the spine. It sits outside of it so that when you open it, there is no resistance. It's just going to sit straight. So in the Cork notebooks, in both the lined and the dotted version, you have perforated pages. I'm not sure if you can see that, so I'm just going to take this out. And now Jack has come to visit. All right, so this is great for those people who don't like to have their mistakes in the notebook, and they just want to tear out a page if they need to. These pages are not numbered. There is the address section in the front, and then it goes straight into the lined pages. There is a pocket in the back, and you get some tab stickers. It does come with a pen loop that's mounted between the cover and the end paper, and then the elastic on this is pretty good, very sturdy. And then let's just take a quick look at the dots. The dots are very dark on this. And let's just compare that actually. So this paper is cream colored, and you can see that it's almost exactly the same color as the Lemome 1917. And then here's the Scribbles That Matter, which is a little bit more white. So you can also see the difference in the color of dots. So the Lemome does have much darker dots on that. So, all right. And then these dots, let's just verify. I'm pretty sure these are 5. Yep, 5mm size on these. And I will count and tell you right here how many dots are across and down. So that is the Cork. And the cover on this is a hardcover, and I think it's actually like a Cork fabric of some sort. It truly does feel like Cork, and I believe it truly is real Cork, which is good because Cork is a sustainable resource, because you don't have to kill the tree in order to use the cork from the outside of the tree. So, all right, Lemome Cork notebooks. Okay, now we are going to move on to this one. So this is the suede. This was actually my first purchase of Lemome, and this is the suede cover with a suede gray cover on the side, and this does have a pen loop on the side, and you can just stick that in. And this is the big steel Sharpie pen, so that fits in pretty easily without a problem. And then inside we have, I did get the lined version, and the lines are kind of dotted. Let's see if we can make that focus. So you can see that the lines are slightly dotted, which makes them very light on the page. And then these lines are running at, let's get this a little closer so that I can see, because my eyes, this looks like 8mm, maybe 9mm line spacing, which is very wide. That is like the kind of notebook paper that you would get like for elementary students, because like 9mm is a wide rule. College rule is 7mm, just as a reference. Moleskine, actually, their rule is at 6mm. So these pages are not numbered, and there is a pocket in the back, and it does come with those label stickers, and then a little thank you card, and information about how to contact them if there's something wrong. And yes, I do have a broken elastic here, but this is not the fault of Lemome. This is probably the fault of this kitty right here, because this kitty really likes elastic. So, see? Thinks of it like crack cocaine or something. Yeah. So, all right, Jack, you're being cute. Okay, so there's a problem with this notebook that other people have had. And let me just find the center of a signature here. See if I can find one. Oh, by the way, the bookmark in this is actually a ribbon. It's grosgrain ribbon, as opposed to the one in the Cork, which is more of a fabric. So there was a problem with these notebooks coming apart at the seams, literally at the seams. So here's the center of a signature. Problem is that the stitching on this version of the Lemome notebook has been a problem for some people. And when I found out that it was a problem, I'm like, what? I don't think mine has that problem. But then when I went and looked, it does. So here's the stitching at the top. And I'm not sure if we're going to be able to see this. Okay, maybe. So I just have a piece of tweezer here. And you can see that there is a little string here at the top that should not be sticking out. This string should be behind the signature back on the spine. And then when you look down here at the bottom, and we have a stitch at the bottom, there's a loose thread. And then you pick at the next one in this thread, and the end of the thread should be back behind the signature. So what's happening is the stitching has been coming out, and then of course you compromise one signature, and then all the other signatures are going to have issues, because this book is created in such a way, that's how signatures are made, or how books are made. Yeah, see, this one's bad too. So as I was going through, I noticed that they're all like this. So, and it's bad on the bottom, and it's bad on the top. And so for a while there, I was telling people, don't buy this one, because it's been coming apart for people. So then a new one came out, and this just happened not too long ago. So this is the newest one. I just bought this a few weeks ago, and still in the package. So this is how it comes, and it looks very similar. However, this one is actually a leather instead of a suede. The spine is still the same with that suede fabric, but the cover is leather. So you can kind of see the difference there. And so this feels a lot more high-end to me, because the cover is actually a leather feeling instead. And then of course it's got the pen loop on the side, but you'll notice that it's in a different spot from the other, from the original. And we have the same address in here, and then straight into dots, and then in the back we have the same pocket with the same stickers, and then ending at the dotted paper. Let's just look. I have to refresh my memory on the number of pages. 180 pages at 120 GSM. So this is what the attraction to this notebook is the paper is very heavy and the ghosting is minimal. And then and this one actually has a gray ribbon instead of the brown one of the other. So let's look at the center of a signature on this one. So we have the center here of this signature, and you'll notice that at the top that little extra string is not sitting there, and then at the bottom this stitch is secure and it's not coming out. So they have fixed the manufacturing problem. So when you order the book, make sure that you're getting the one with the leather cover and not the one with the suede cover. let's take a look. And I did not do a pen test in this because the paper is the same, but let's take a look at the pen test of this. And we have used the same pens as we used before. And here we have very good results. No feathering at all on the fountain pen. And yeah, looks great on the front. On the back, well, where did the pen go? So, perfect score on the pen test here. There is a little bit of a coating on this. It is more of a matte finish than what you get in some of them, like the Leuchtturm or even the Scribbles, but it's okay because it's thicker. All right, Jack, lay down. Lay down. Thank you. Okay, so because this paper is so thick, you don't actually need a coating for things to not soak through. But even the fact that there's no ghosting or there's no feathering on these heavy wet ink pens is a good sign of a good quality paper. So you are sacrificing some of the page count on this, so 180 pages versus usually you get about 192 in a book that comes with a 100 GSM. But I do like the new version. In fact, I really love the leather on that. Okay, so let's move on. This is going to be like a million years old once we get through all of these Lemome notebooks. Okay, so now we're going to talk about these pre-printed calendars. They're not part of the original journal review blog post, but I did do a review on these, and I'll link that directly to, for you below as well. So there were two, and when they first were listed, I had a hard time figuring out what the difference between the two were. And as far as I can tell, the only difference is the cover. So one is this leather, and it's got the same, both of them have the same spine with the pen loop. This one's a little bit lighter than this one. This is a leather cover. This is also a leather cover, but it's got a crosshatch pattern on it. Let's see if we can see that. Yeah, there you go. So they feel the same. I'm using this one, and we're going to take a look inside, so you can't really compare the difference in the thickness, but they're exactly the same on the inside, with a cover page. So this is the 2018 version. I haven't seen 19 come out yet, but I'm sure it's on the way. They do have an academic planner out right now, which is the 2018-19 year, so I'm sure that the others are coming soon. So on the inside, you've got contact information, emergency information with the doctor's name and phone number, police, fire, and then also friends and family. And then you have a year overview for 18 and 19. And then you have holidays listed for 18, 19, and 20, which is very handy. In fact, I wonder if I should just tear this out and take that to work and have that hanging on my bulletin board. And then you have 2 pages for contact information, which is very helpful. So then we get right into the dated planner part of it. So you've got a calendar with 2 little before and after calendars here, and then you get into the dated week. So you've got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And then it actually goes through each of the dated weeks, and when it gets to the middle of a so the end of the week did not end on the 30th, so you're going to get February on the next spread. So you've got the 29th, 30th, 31st, and then 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and then you get into the month on the next page. And then it goes all the way through just like that till you get to December. And then when you get to the end, you get 42 blank pages. These are all lined. And so this gives you space. If you want to use this as your bullet journal, you can create collection pages on these blank pages at the end. This paper is also, oh, and then we've got the calendar with the time zones. And then the back, you've got the cover. They do come with these cool month sticker tabs, so you can create your tabs, and so you can easily find the month. This paper is exactly the same paper as what's in the Lemome journals, so 120 GSM, and they also come with 2 bookmarks. So one is gray, one is black. These are satin ribbon bookmarks. And then the other one is actually another dated calendar, and I am using this as my photo a day project. So what I did is I'm using my HP Sprocket to print a photo each day, which means I actually have to be conscious of taking photos each day. And then I just write a little note about what happened that day or what the picture is about, and then just continuing on. Sometimes I cut the picture down and put 2 on the weekend. Sometimes the weekend is just 1. But you can see that at the end of the year, I am going to have an amazing record of, hey, look. That's Amy from Tyrian Design. If you watch my channel, you know I talk about her all the time. So at the end of the year, I'm going to have this amazing scrapbook of photos and little snippets of my days. And you can see this is how I do my bullet journaling. And sometimes Pounce likes to help. But yeah, kind of a cool project. I am definitely behind. I have still been taking pictures every day, but I need to print. So I need to finish August and September. And yeah, so this is going to be a really fat book when it's done, but I'm loving the way that it looks, and it's a lot of fun to just flip through it and take a look. Isn't that cool? Okay, so there we go, folks. We have Lemomes. We have Lemomes coming out our ears. So we have 2 calendars. We have 2 notebooks. Here we have another notebook here, and we have another notebook here, and we have 2 more notebooks here. So we have a lot of Lemomes. So when I tell you what I know about them, you can be assured that I've touched them all. So anyway, which one do you have? Or should I ask, how many do you have? Anybody top my 9 count? Let's chat about our Lemome addiction down in the comments below so that we can decide which one is the best. Do you like the Cork that has the perforated pages, or do you prefer the executive books that are, you know, no perforation? Or do you prefer this one with the tree on it that comes with all the bullet journaling goodies? This one comes with a pen too, by the way. So anyway, that's all I've got for now. Lots of information. This video is probably going to be 6 hours long, so I apologize for that, but let's talk. Hit me up in the comments, hit like, share it with a friend, subscribe, all the good things. Like, do all the things. I will talk to you later, guys. Bye.